Well, g'day everybody, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Blah blah blah. I will get it out. Okay, so what we're doing now is I was wondering to myself, what can I do? Where am I going to fly next? What kind of flight am I going to do, and all that type of stuff. And I thought, well, maybe we can add something to this whole simulator series. So what we are doing is we are starting our own airline company. We are starting from scratch with minimal money, and we will get ourselves an aircraft. We will run cargo, get a passenger license, build up our airline and our sort of our air company from scratch. But how are we going to do that? Well, how we are going to do that is we are going to use this program here. OnAir Airline Manager is a program, as you can see, I've created an account, is a program that you pay a subscription for, a yearly, monthly if you want to, yearly, 2-yearly subscription, and obviously the longer you have your subscription, the cheaper it is, and it allows you to create your own airline company. From scratch, basically, and eventually you can you continue to purchase aircraft as you earn money and do jobs. You can hire AI pilots to fly your aircraft. You can rent aircraft off other players on the server and all that type of stuff. And this thing actually talks to interconnects and talks to Microsoft Flight Simulator, as well as X-Plane 11 and prepared as well. So so everybody flying on it at any particular time can do the same thing. So what we are going to do now is we're going to set up our company name, and we're going to set up a new profile for this. So we're going to call ourselves Simidiom, obviously, airline code, Simidiom, mature, casual, gaming. There you go. So that has to be a 4-letter code that has to be unique. Now, I did start up a company and do the tutorial and all that type of stuff, and then when I came back into the program, it told me that I was in tycoon only mode, which is this checkbox here. I don't use any simulator. I want to play with AI pilots only, which is wrong because I didn't have that set up. So hopefully this fixes it. Now, this has a 7-day trial. So I am on a 7-day trial at the moment. I'm trialing this out to see how it goes and see if I will continue with a subscription. So pilot pseudo is moi. Let's see, let's go. I'm not going to put my birth date in, guys, but I am going to put my birth year in. There you go. Flight experience. I've had so much experience, but what we're going to do is we're going to leave it at 0 hours. I've had thousands of hours of flight simulator experience. Now, your initial location, this is really important. So you need to select an airport somewhere in the world, which is going to be your base of operations, basically where you live and where you fly out of. I am going to good old Washington State in the San Juan County because I love flying around there. It's close to Canada and all that type of stuff. I am going to set my base of operations out of a place called Friday Harbor, which is KFHR. So Kilo Foxtrot Hotel Romeo. It's such a beautiful area through there to fly in, and Washington State is a beautiful area to fly over. It is also my favorite place to drive in American Truck Sim as well. So I am going to stick to that. Now, here we go. Difficulty level, easy, classic, or realistic. We will just go classic. Job pay bonus. Now you can add some sort of bonus to your job. I'm going to put 20% anyway, which will sort of help us along for, I might actually put 30% because that'll help us along with our company as we are going through this. Now we have all of these icons to check out to create our avatar. I'm just going to go him. He's got a nice tie on and stuff like that. My flight experience hours is so many hours, but I'm just going to put 0 hours in anyway. So our company airline code is SMCG. Our company name is Simiair. We are flying out of Friday Harbor. We will not check. I don't use any simulator, and we will create this company. Okay, so as you can see, we have no aircraft. We have 170,000 in cash. We have one employee, which is ourself. It is connected to Microsoft Flight Simulator. There's no tracking in progress at the moment because we're not doing a job. So where do we start? It is complex. We've got no income. Company is not valued at anything. We have one pending job in here, which is a job that it gives you jobs. So we have a job here from Friday Harbour to CYXX, which is Abbotsford. It's a 40 nautical mile job. It's to deliver 16 pounds of cargo, and it is for 5,000. However, we can't do this because we do not own an aircraft. So if we go back to our company dashboard here, so we have that pending job there, but as you can see, we don't own any aircraft. So your company has no aircraft available. Now, what you can do is you can only use aircraft that are in your specific simulator. So for me, for example, the aircraft that are in Microsoft Flight Simulator that I have in my simulator, I can use. So we have a couple of options. We can buy or we can rent. So if we go to the global market, we need to get ourselves an aircraft so that we can actually start doing jobs. So what I do want to hopefully do is to be able to find now aircraft have, it's worth noting that your aircraft, they have, you do need to pay on maintenance. They do degrade, and the software tracks the degradation of your aircraft. You do need to do maintenance on your aircraft. You have to pay landing fees at any airport you land at. You have to pay for all your fuel. You have to pay for any ground staff that you might use. Say you use pushback, or say you're flying a bigger aircraft and you use catering, then you do have to pay for that. So it is worth noting that you have to pay for all of that, like you would in real life. And this is basically what it's like. Now, this software also tracks your flight. It tracks the way that you fly. If you have a massively hard landing, it will damage your aircraft. It will cost you in breakage on cargo. If you don't fly to procedure, say for example within the States, I think transition level is 10,000 feet. So anywhere below 10,000 feet, you need to make sure you have your landing light on. If you turn your landing light off below 10,000 feet, you'll get penalised. If you take off without at least one stage of flaps, you will get penalised. So if you do a flapless takeoff, then you will get penalised. And so you've really got to sort of take care of what you're doing. So let's search for the aircraft we have loaded in our sim. At the moment, we have our Cessna Skyhawk loaded in the sim, but we can also. I think we can choose. Oh, here we go. Actually, if we go into here and we go KFHR, which is where our airport is. Oh no. KFHR, which is Friday Harbour. If we find something within, let's say, 40 nautical miles, and we search the aircraft database, then it is going to search for any aircraft that are available for sale within 100 nautical miles of Friday Harbour. It's obviously changed that. So at the moment, you can see I've just got that loaded in because that's the aircraft that I normally fly, the Skyhawk. So what you can see here is you can see different aircraft that are available for sale. And this is really, really cool because some of these aircraft are probably from other players who are selling their aircraft within the whole database. Some of them might be just generated by the program. So what we want to do is we want to find a relatively decent aircraft. You can see here the engine condition is 74.2%, 88% over time. So you can see, I mean, over here, look, this is terrible, 52%. Where are we? what have we got? So we can go into details. We've got these ones here are rentals. And later on, you can have an FBO. You can actually rent your planes out that you purchase to other players. So if I rented this might be another player's. This might be another player's aircraft, and they would be getting the $200 per hour for the rental price for that. This one is at Orcas. It is very close to where we are at. So that's $250 an hour. If we click on the details for that, what else have we got here? Orcas is very Orcas Island is very, very close to us. It's only 12 nautical miles from Friday Harbour. This one here, that's another rental. That's 18 nautical miles, and that is at Whidbey Island. So that's a possibility. That's 210 per operating hour. Now, I'm not sure in this whether you actually have to, whether you fly it and whether you actually have to return it to where you got it from, or whether it sits there. Because as far as I'm aware, and I know in FS Economy, if you flew an aircraft from, say, from Whidbey Island to Orcas Island, then that aircraft would be registered as being in Orcas Island. So, and it would stay there until somebody picked it up from Orcas Island and flew it back. Okay, so what I've done, guys, is I've changed it. I've changed the nautical miles from Friday Harbour to 250, because what I didn't want to do was I didn't want to rent an aircraft. I want to purchase an aircraft for our company rather than sort of rent one. So I've had a look at these here, and you can see that there's aircraft condition and stuff like that. And I've kind of found this aircraft here. It's 280 nautical miles away. The sell price is 112,000. It is in pretty good condition. There's also one here that is has an engine condition of 98%, which is pretty good, and 80% in regards to the overall condition of the aircraft. That's 88%. And 100%. So it's either one of these. I think with the 88%, for the extra 8%, I think we might have a look at the possibility of purchasing this one here. It means we are going to have to, it is over at CYCG. We are going to have to actually fly it back to Friday Harbour before we do our first job, but we may be able to pick up a cargo job flying in that direction anyway. So I think what we might do is we might actually look at the possibility of purchasing that one. We've got 170 grand, and that is for sale for 112,000, which really isn't too bad, is it? When you consider some of the other conditions. So there it is there. Let's see. Airframe condition 88%. Operating hours 533. Engine condition, it says 100%. Registration, which we will write down as well, is November 7089 Golf. So we probably need to keep that in. The airframe time 2,997 hours. So let's see, annual checkup price would be 2,000, weekly ownership cost 10, 100-hour checkup cost 900, and engine price when we have to do that is yeah, I think that's probably good. We've got 97 days left, so before the next checkup. So I think we might purchase this. So including vendor markup and paperwork's 112,000. Let's do it. I reckon that should be pretty good. Yep, let's do it. This is your first aircraft. You can be teleported for free, because normally you can't be teleported. You can only, if you've flown somewhere, that is where you are in the world. If you want to relocate, then you are actually you actually have to do it in real time. So what we want to do now is we own this aircraft now. We have purchased it. What we want to do now is we probably want to look for jobs out of where we are, which is CYCG, which is here, right there. That's where we are at the moment. That's where our aircraft is, and we need to be flying up to Friday Harbour, which is like, well, where is it? It's down to Friday. I can't remember. Friday Harbour's down here, right in there. So we will be flying from here across to Friday Harbour. So what we want to do is maybe see if there's any jobs at the current airport that are flying in this direction, so that we can actually make money while we're flying back there. Which there is. Look at that. That's flying down to here. Do we have any? See, some of this cargo is actually too much. Maximum cargo weight. I think the maximum. Let's say 150 pounds. Query logistics center. Because what we don't want to do is we don't want to find anything. See, this is all going to from CYCG. Let's have a look. We don't. That's going to CYCG. Oh no, it's going up in the wrong direction, isn't it? From where we want to go, because we want to go over this way. So, is there anything else? What's this one? Medical transportation. Oh, that is from there. Business trip. Nope, they're all going in the wrong direction. All in the wrong direction. From there, business trip. That's going up into. Let's see. Nope, nothing. Okay, guys, I've had a really good look around, and we don't have anything that is heading back in this direction that we are qualified to fly. So the other thing that I will show you, and I'm not sure whether I showed you this or not, is let's go into the skills tree here. Now, this has a complete skills tree in it as well. You earn skill points the more hours you fly and stuff like that. And as I was saying, medical jobs, well, you've got to work your way all the way through here to get to medical jobs to be able to fly medical jobs. And that would be, maybe transporting a heart emergency like and stuff. But we've got bank loans agreement, FBO's agreement, passenger license and hiring agreement. This allows you to hire aircraft out to other players, but we're going to go the passenger, and we're going to put a skill point into that so that we can actually take passengers on flights, because at this point in time we're not allowed to. We can only take cargo, so that'll help us in the future. What we are going to do though is we can't find any jobs there, so we are going to go to aircraft, which is here. That's our aircraft, and we're going to set up a flight, and we're going to prepare a flight. Unfortunately, we are going to have to fly an empty plane basically across to Friday Harbour from where we are, which is CYCG. So we are going to need to fill up our tanks, which is 56 gallons of fuel. Which will give us 568 nautical miles. We won't be taking any cargo. We will not be taking any passengers. So we will confirm the fuel and payload. But what we need to do first is we are going to set our aircraft up. If I go back to the main menu, we are going to set our flight up in Flight Simulator first. And once we've got that flight set up, we're set up at the airport and stuff like that. Then what we can do is then we will connect to it, and we will organise our payload and our fuel and stuff. So I'll see you once I've gone into the main menu and I've set this up. Actually, I can run into here now, and we will be departing from CYCG, which is here. And that will be our departure, but we will set up on ramp 5. Let's set up on let's set up on ramp 3 there. We will set that as our departure, and we will be flying to Friday Harbour, KFHR, Friday Harbour, and we will be setting that as our arrival, which is our home base. We will fly direct, and what we will do is let's change our weather. Let's set up our flight conditions. Our flight conditions will be live weather time over there, and live traffic, which hopefully works. Live traffic hopefully works. 5:04 a.m. So we'll be taking off at 5:04 a.m. It's relatively early. Now let's go back to our map. As you can see, 5:04 a.m., which is real time, so that's live time, live weather. And what we will do now is I will click fly, and then I will see you when we get back into the other software. So okay guys, so I've got Flight Sim set up. As you can see, we are sitting in our aircraft at CYCG, and we are almost ready to go. So what we will do is we will come back into Online Air Company, and we will confirm and go fly now. We should be able to completely fuel up. It will connect to the Flight Sim. It will do everything that it needs to do. As you can see, no passengers, no cargo. They are refueling my aircraft at the moment, and you can see the fuel on board going up. We are flying to KFHR, Friday Harbour. Our alternative is CYXX, which is 40 nautical miles difference from Friday Harbour. That's in case we come into any problems. We are the pilot. Oh, no, we don't do that. So we can now, so we are all set up now. Our fuel is loaded. As I said, we don't have any passengers. We don't have any cargo. Unfortunately, we can't make any money coming back. You can see that we are in November 7089 Golf, which is our new aircraft that we have purchased. And now we can go to the flight tracking page. It says you are about to start a flight without any cargo or passengers. Start anyway. Yes, unfortunately we do. So I've given us a full set of fuel. So basically what we're doing now is the program is talking to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it will track our aircraft and track our flight. It will monitor how we are flying and all that type of stuff. So there we go, ready to track the flight. And we will go back into here, and now we need to go into our startup procedure. What I am going to do first is I am going to ask for pushback. So we will ask for pushback. Come on. With this stupid, we will take the parking brake off. We will ask for pushback. I really dislike this whole pushback thing in Microsoft Flight Simulator. But unfortunately, we can't do anything about it. While we are doing that, we might put our master on. We will do that. We will put on our beacon lights. I'm just going to bring this up a little bit so that we can see a little bit better. I'm also going to bring up our standby instruments. Come on, buddy. Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it or not? There we go. See? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Let's just cancel that. It's just a waste of time. All right, so we're going to go into our startup procedure. We're going to put our park brake on to make sure that our park brake is on. We are going to, our mixture is completely rich. We're going to put on our fuel pump right here. and we're going to bring our throttle all the way in just to prime the engine a little bit, and all the way back out again. Turn our fuel pump off, and we are ready to start. So let's have a look. Our fuel is on. Our fuel is, yep, our fuel shut-off valve is closed, so we are ready to start. So we will start this up. There we go, and we are started. I'm going to put 20% throttle in it. I'm just going to let that fire up a little bit. I am also going to put on the avionics. There we go. So now what we should find while this is warming up is, if we go back into here, it should be tracking our flight now and tracking what's going to happen. So there we go, beautiful. So we are warming the engine up. We will put on our nav lights, we will put on our strobe lights. What's the temperature? The temperature is 30 degrees. We don't need any PIDOT heat. We're going to go into our primary flight display, and we're going to bring up, I like option 3, which shows the wind, which is 227. So the chances are that we will, let's go back to there. Let's change our CDI to GPS mode. So that shows the direction that we will be flying in. We will be taking off on, we're probably going to have a bit of a, we'll probably be taking off on runway 33, I think, as opposed to runway 15. No, probably runway 15, I would say, would be the runway that we will be taking off on. Let's see, let's go into our transponder. Let's turn our transponder on, set it to VFR and ident. We may end up flying this in IFR anyway, because it is first thing in the morning. Everything is right there. What we will do over here is we will just bring our range in a little bit. There we go, which is there. We will bring our heading to, let's see, I'm just going to adjust the heading so that we can get a gauge on our wind. Our wind is at, there we go. Nope, I went a little bit too far, so about there somewhere. So we are going to take off on runway 15, so we will set this to 15. Our heading, just so that we know what, so we can track the track the runway on the way out. So we'll just, I've brought this up like this so that it gives us an opportunity to actually see where we are, taxiing. But what we can do as well is we can actually, oh no, let's do that. Let's actually zoom this out a little bit like that, and then we can bring up, if we want to see our taxiing, we can actually bring that up like that, and that will help us. Taxi there. So, which is pretty cool. And runway 15 is heading this way. So, all right. So that's that set up. We are climbing to 9,500 feet, which will give us enough. Height to get over the mountains when we get into Washington State. When we were coming over the hill, sort of near, I think it's Seattle. So we will set that to there. We will also set the vertical speed to on. We will set the feet per minute to. We'll probably climb out at about 500 feet per minute. Initially, we will adjust that at some point. Flight director is on, and the autopilot is off at the moment, so we should be set up to flick the autopilot on when we get out there. Alright, so we've got our taxi lights. Let's bring up our radio. Let's tune to the traffic. Alright, beautiful, no worries. And we shall now announce our taxi. Bring our taxi lights on.
Charlie Yankee Charlie Golf Traffic Cine 666 is taxiing to runway 15.
Alright, beautiful, lovely. Let's close that off and zoom in on this map again so that we can see where we are going. We are taking off in that direction, so let's take our parking brake off, and hopefully we don't take this dude out, and hopefully we don't take that building out. So I've got my right brake, my right toe brake on, and full right rudder, so round we go. Alright, there we go. We'll get a bit of a roll happening. I'm just going to move that up to there. This is just to help us taxi. I'm going to go, I'm not going to follow that, actually I'm going to probably turn that off, to be honest, if you give me a sec. We will go into here, we will go into assistance, and we will turn off navigation aids. Come on, there we go. Taxi ribbon we shall turn off, or otherwise that'll stay on, so we'll apply and save that. We'll head back and we shall resume. Alright, there you go, lovely. Okay, so we're going to taxi out to 1.5. I'm pretty sure we can get out to 1.5 up here. We should be able to get out to the end of 1.5. I'm pretty sure that we don't have to. Let's bring up our nav again, and yeah, we can get out to 1.5 there. So we will head out this way. Beautiful. So just slow this down a little, and here we are. Just idle ourselves into here. So, it's not a bad airport to take off out of. The big thing is that we have hills on either side and at the ends of the runway as well. So we need to make sure that we get all that set. So we're going to put the parking brake on. We're going to take this down. We are going to put on our landing lights, take off our taxi lights. We are going to put in one stage of flaps for takeoff. Just make sure that's going down to one stage. Yes, it is. We are ready for takeoff. So we are trimmed for takeoff. Yes, we are. Beautiful. All right, so we will announce our takeoff now. Let's see. We will announce takeoff departing west.
Charlie Yankee Charlie Golf traffic Simi 666 taking off runway 15 departure to the west.
Beautiful. All right, we will take that down. Off with our parking brake, and out we go onto the runway, ready for takeoff. So I'm actually starting to like the G1000s. I never was a big fan of them, but I am starting to like them now. So let's look around here. We are going. There is no aircraft coming. We are ready to take off. Strobe is on, nav's on, taxi's off, landing lights are on. We will need to leave the landing lights on for the entire trip. What we will do is we are going to have to take off, and we are going to have to do a right turn. So on takeoff, so that we can sort of clear those mountains. We'll come around here, we'll come back over the top of the airport and pick up our GPS there. So I'm putting my brakes on. We are ready to go. Going to put a little bit of power into the engine and bring it up, get a little bit of power, get everything settled, and off with the brakes. And there we go, full power. Try and get a little bit of speed up. Keep the center line relatively okay. Alright, come on, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. Down the runway, and we will rotate. There we go, and we are off, guys.
Airborne time logged.
Alright, there we go. So I'm going to trim for us to climb out. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. And we will put the flaps up now. And we are going to do ourselves a little bit of a right turn. I want to maintain a climb. We may have to move out this valley and climb a little bit higher before we actually turn around and pick up our GPS, because we do need to climb. We might be all right climbing around this way. We'll see how we go. Need to monitor our speed, which is relatively slow there. There we go. Just continue to climb out here. 400 feet a minute. There we go. We're picking up a little bit of speed now. I prefer to climb. I actually prefer to climb at about 80 knots, but 75 is all right. We're getting a little bit of wind coming from the because we're in a bit of a valley here. So let's see if we can climb out here. Go. We will climb out enough to pick up that GPS signal, so a little bit more trim. It's going to trim us as we go. There we go, lovely. Look at that, isn't it beautiful out there? Isn't that magnificent? Absolutely magnificent. Looks amazing. Looks amazing. All right, so I've got the aircraft settled a little bit. I'm just trimming a little bit as we go. We're going to fly up past here. We are crossing our GPS signal about now, but we still aren't at enough height to obviously get out there, so we are going to continue to climb. And we will probably go left around this mountain area here and see if we can climb enough to climb out. I probably really should have done a departure procedure, which I will teach you guys at some point. I will be able to teach you how to do a departure procedure, but for this flight, no, I don't think so. We are getting knocked around in the wind, I can tell you, as you can probably see. There we go. A lot of wind draft, a lot of downdraft coming from those hills and stuff. So it's going to be quite the climb out, really. Quite the climb out indeed. There we go. Come on. Yeah, it just wants to throw us around completely. It's going to have a quick squiz over our shoulder. Everything's all right out there. Should be okay. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? That is absolutely magnificent. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to follow this valley around as we are climbing out. It is sort of kind of does line up with our GPS track just a little bit, but it's going to give us the opportunity to get out of here and get enough height to get over these mountains. So don't really want to climb out at any faster rate than what I am doing now. So, and as I said, we are getting thrown around by the wind quite a lot. So right, there we go. Beautiful. It just looks magnificent down there, doesn't it? Absolutely magnificent. The scenery in this is incredible. The whole streaming from the map server and stuff like that, and getting sort of real terrain and all that type of stuff is incredible. Let's turn this around here. We're starting to to become a little bit more stable because we are sort of out of the valley a little bit now. which means that we're not suffering. Let's just look over the top here. We're not suffering as much downdraft or as much turbulence from inside those valleys. So we shall move out here. All right, lovely. Going well. All right, so what I am going to do now is I might just continue to manually fly out of here, and I will fly out of here, and then I will move into our GPS track, and I will pick up with you guys once we are lining up with our GPS track. So what you can see there is we're going to move out over those hills directly in front of us there. So let's have a quick squiz out at the aircraft itself as we climb out. Look at that, isn't that magnificent? That is just absolutely and utterly magnificent. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, we'll head back in here. So I will see you guys when we actually. I might hang with you, to tell you the truth, because we are actually moving. There we go. We're getting a bit of turbulence again now. Oh, where were we getting that downdraft from? My goodness, that is throwing us around something shocking. There we go. We do have a headwind at the moment, so that's going to slow our progress down quite a bit. But wow, what a massive amount! So now you can see that. Whoa! I've actually flown in real life when I was doing my pilot's license. I actually flew in a bit of weather like this, where we were getting thrown around like that. And at one point in time, we dropped, like, I reckon almost 400 feet. Almost 400 feet, just in one hit. So it's going over a thermal. We went up 400 feet and then we dropped 400 feet down the other side. So it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Oh man, it's a beautiful beautiful area around here, isn't it? It's a pity that it's sort of 5:30 a.m., but we've got the sun coming up over there as well, which is nice. Not many places for an emergency landing here, I must say. Not many places at all for an emergency landing, so we should be picking up our GPS track very, very soon. We're heading down towards it. It's just over to our left over there, and you can see basically you can see that we are to the right of our GPS track. We'll be tracking at 243 degrees when we actually line up with our track, but we are currently to the right hand side of it. So the idea is that we fly to the left towards that line, and when that line moves up into the middle there, then we turn into 243 degrees, and we are on track for our GPS and for our navigation that we have set up in here, which is our flight plan basically. So we are doing well. Climbing out a little bit slower than what I would have liked, but that's not too bad. That's not too bad. So alright, beautiful. Everything's looking okay. Everything's in the green. Everything is in the green here. Oil pressure's okay. We're sitting at 2,400 revs. Plenty of fuel. No warnings or anything coming up, which is pretty good. We still have our landing light on, as we should. And you can see here, I don't know whether you can see it, but our aircraft is our aircraft's here, and this is our GPS track right here. So we are nearly on track. So now we are out of the airport, we will contact Vancouver Centre, which is right there, and we will request a flight following.
Vancouver Center, Simi 666 is type Cessna Skyhawk 11 miles west of Charlie Yankee Charlie Golf. Request flight following. Simi 666 Vancouver Center. Squawk 3407.
Okay, Squawk. We'll go into our transponder. We will put our code in 3407 3407 and ident. Let's go back.
Radar contact 11 miles west of Charlie Yankee Charlie Golf 7,400 feet. Altimeter 30.18.
30.18. Let's acknowledge that.
Copy Simi 666.
Okay, so we will turn into our GPS track now, as you can see. And what we are going to do now is we are going to close that window off, and we are going to hit our autopilot, and we are going to hit nav mode. And as you can see, we should be on GPS. Autopilot is on. Vertical speed is 500 feet per minute, which we might actually reduce now. The aircraft is turning. We'll reduce that to 400 because we were climbing out so slow. The aircraft the GPS likes to intercept this line at about a 45-degree angle. So hence the reason why when we turned this on, it wanted to turn to the left and then sort of straighten up so that it hits this at a 45-degree angle. You will see in a sec that we will actually turn to the right in a sec now. So there we go. So basically, what happens is when you hit 10,000 feet, which is the transition altitude, what you do in an aircraft is you turn your landing lights off and you set your altimeter to just the standard, which is 29902. At the moment, our altimeter, which is sort of the pressure here, is 3017. Once we went over 10,000, we would set that to 29902, so that all aircraft that are flying above 10,000 feet, their altimeter is all of their altimeters are set at exactly the same setting. So it makes sure that air traffic control can maintain heights and distances and stuff like that. So. Alright, so we are on track now. You can see we are on track here. We are also on track here, as you can see. And what you will also see is, if we go into here, is you will also see that the software is actually tracking our flight now. So we have left here and we are on our way over to here, guys. So there you go. No passengers on board. It's telling us our current heading, distance and stuff like that to get to where we are going. Yeah, for now, that's how it goes. So let's go back into here, and I will see you guys. We are nearly at our top of climb, our TOC, which is good. I will actually, I might actually just for you guys just run out here and. We can have a little bit of a look around the aircraft, so you can have a look at what we're doing. There we go. Lovely. Look at that. Isn't that magnificent? That is absolutely incredible. I love it. I love it. And as I said, in real life, in the real world, there is nothing better. There is nothing better than being up in the air. So, all right, guys. I will see you. I will see you when we get close to Friday Harbour. There's no point in you guys sitting with me the entire time. All right, guys, I'm back for a sec. I'm just, as you can see, I'm actually, I'm changing altitudes. I'm climbing up to to 11,000 feet. Sitting down at 9,500, we're actually getting we're actually getting thrown around quite a lot by a lot of turbulence. So I thought I might bring it up here a little bit, bring it up a bit higher. To get us out of the turbulence, hopefully. But have a look at that. Isn't that beautiful down there? Isn't that incredible? At the moment, we are just monitoring that. And as you can see, we've gone past transition altitude. So I've turned the landing lights off, and I have also changed the altimeter to 299 which is what we are supposed to do. We're getting a little bit of turbulence here as well. So I think with all of these hills and stuff, we're not going to avoid it too much. But if I go into here, as you can see, we are going over Greenwood and Grand Forks. So, so we are flying just on the just above the Bridesvilles coming up over here, and we are flying in Canada at the moment. So we will fly over to here, and we will duck into the United States relatively soon because we are heading over here. So it won't be too long before we head in there. There's Rock Creek there, which is actually just off our which would be just down here. This would be Rock Creek, right there, that area there. So absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's incredible. All right, guys, I will see you when we get closer to Friday Harbour. All right, everybody, we're still sitting at 11,000 feet. At this point in time, we are 49 or 50 nautical miles out of Friday Harbour. As you can see, we can, as soon as we get over these peaks, I will actually start descending because we need to start preparing for our landing and stuff. But at the moment, I just want to clear these peaks over here. Look at that. We have just stopped getting turbulence. So there you go. Everything is looking really good. We have managed to run a relatively economic flight, which is really good. Everything's going quite well. So we've got a decent fuel flow. We're sitting at 2,490 revs. And as you can see, we are coming up to the bay here. So I just thought I might sort of touch base with you. It looks like we are moving into a little bit of weather, so I'm not sure what to expect when we get down to Friday Harbour, but we will find that out as we get a little bit closer. We are currently in contact with Seattle Centre. Which will change as we get closer to the airfield that we are going to. So let's see how we're doing here. Looks like we are doing all right. There's some pretty sharp peaks there, isn't there? But absolutely magnificent. Now we can get over all of this at about 9,500 feet. Obviously not this mountain. I'm not sure what that mountain is, so if anybody knows Washington State and knows this area, let me know what that mountain is, because I kind of can't find it. Even having a look on this map here, it doesn't really tell me what it is, so it'd be nice to know what it is. Middle Fork Nooksack River, but that's all it's telling us. Ridley Creek and stuff. So it'd be nice to know. There's what's that? Is that Bear Lake there? Baker Lake. There you go. And we're about to we're coming across here to cross the Valley Highway. Not very far away at all. Here's our destination here. We are going to probably have to do because we needed to get over these hills here. We are probably going to have to do some sort of a little bit of a wide circuit to come in. I'm not sure whether we are going to be, what runway we're going to be landing on, whether it's going to be 16 or 34. Currently, the the wind currently is at 227, 3 knots. So it will most likely be 161 that we are landing at, I would say. But we will see. Either way, it looks like we're going to have a bit of a crosswind anyway. So what we might start doing now is we might bring our altitude down to around 4,000 feet, which should be okay. We are clearing these peaks here, as you can see down there. Everything is relatively clear, so we will bring ourselves maybe even down to 3,000 feet. Vertical speed wise, we will drop at probably about that. Let's go into vertical speed mode. There we go, vertical speed mode should be on. Let's reduce to 300 feet per minute. I'm going to reduce the throttle just a little bit as well. We will keep monitoring our engine RPM and our fuel flow. There we go, okay. Whidbey approach, so we will contact Whidbey approach.
120.7 Simi 666.
Tune into that and we will contact them. We will get an altimeter reader.
11,100 feet. Simi 666 Whidbey approach, continue as planned. Altimeter 30.24.
30.24. So we shall change that. Just going to zoom in just a little bit there. 30.24, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure. Was it 24? 30.24. 30.24. Alright, so we've got that set now, which is the current pressure reading for this area. Lovely, it looks like we've got quite a bit of cloud down there, so not overly sure what we're going to do. We are going to land on 16, I think, by the looks of it. I reckon we probably will. 161 degrees. We will set our heading to 161. Which is right there, like that. Okay, beautiful. Alright guys, we are nearly there. Our airport is approximately over here. I think it's approximately there, through here. So as you can see on our display here, KFHR or Friday Harbour is over here. We're currently flying over the top of what island is it? I've got to learn this area. We are about to fly over the top of Orcas Island. Well, we are flying over the top of Orcas Island anyway, so our plan is we will come in this way and we will turn in and head at 161 degrees. So we're currently at 3,900, which isn't too bad. I am going to start slowing the aircraft down a little bit as well and getting us all organised. There's a little bit of texture glitching there. So it's been quite a long flight, to be honest. A couple of hours up in the air. Obviously not a couple of hours for you guys, but we will keep our eye on this 161, which is approximately there, and we will turn left when we sort of get within 161 degrees there. So we should be okay. Just trying to keep it slowed a little bit down. Yep, you can see some texture glitching there as well. But no, everything's looking good. We should be right. It's been quite an economical flight, so that's not too bad. And that's what we want to do if we are running our own business, which is what we are doing. So Look at that, just looks beautiful out there, doesn't it? This is why I like this area. It's just you know, all these islands, everything just looks magnificent. So we should be right. We should be able to do a visual land because we certainly aren't covered in cloud over the island that we are landing on. So. Alright, I am going to just bring our heading around just a little bit. There we go. I hate that when you're, because you've got your mouse over and you're actually doing that. When it all moves, then you end up being out here and zooming out, which is a bit crazy. So... Alright. Hopefully we are not too high. I've got a feeling that we might be a little bit too high at the moment. So considering it's over here that we've got to land. So what we might do is I might actually take a manual control of the aircraft. I'll just slow us down a little bit. Let's let it bring the nose up. There's our airport right there. So we'll come through here and we will turn around that way. So it might be time for us to actually contact Friday Harbour. Where are you? Right there. Beautiful. Let's tune to traffic and select a runway for landing. Runway 16. Alright, there we go. I can actually drop our flaps by one now. Mixture will go into rich. We'll put just a little bit of more oomph into the engine there. I'm just going to let the aircraft settle itself before we turn around. So let's see, we will announce a full stop landing right there and announce a position.
Kilo Foxtrot Hotel Romeo traffic Simi 6665 miles north 2,100 feet inbound to land runway 16.
Alright, I have taken the autopilot off now. So what we are going to do is we are going to continue to reduce our altitude a little bit. Heading across this way. I think the altitude of the airfield itself is about 131 feet, I think. So by the time we do a descending turn, which is okay, there are no other aircraft out here at the moment. All right, lovely. Get ourselves around. Just a nice little descending turn. We're descending at excuse me, approximately 500 feet per minute, which is okay. Just keeping a relatively low speed. So I'm reducing the throttle and keeping the nose up a little bit of sun glare there. Alright, lovely. Okay, we're at 1,400 feet. I'm just going to put a little bit of oomph into the throttle. Getting ourselves around now. I'm just going to... you've got to be really careful with OnAir because you shouldn't really turn at more than a 30-degree bank. So there we go. Alright, lovely. It's going to put a little bit more oomph in. I'm just going to trim the aircraft up a little. Give us a little bit more throttle. And you should be able to see... Oh, there we go. You should be able to see our runway over there. So that is what we are aiming for. check everything. We are okay. Our landing lights are on. Fuel pump is off. We won't put our fuel pump on. We should be okay. Mixture is rich. We're at one stage of flaps. And I am just going to bring the throttle down a little bit, trim the nose up just a bit, bleed a little bit more speed. Just have a look over the top of that compass there. There we go, that's a bit better. We'll just skim the top of this hill here. Lovely. Alright, reduce our throttle a little bit more, let the plane drop itself and settle. We'll now announce we are on final, which is number 3.
Kilo Foxtrot Hotel Romeo traffic Simi 666 is on final runway 16 to land.
It's quite a considerable bit of quite a considerable, well, not a considerable, we've got a 2-knot crosswind, which isn't too bad. It's pretty well nothing, so we'll just keep this coming in. Beautiful. Everything's looking good. Just going to reduce my throttle just a little bit more, just to bleed off a little bit more speed. So when you're coming into land, you basically are using your throttle to control your descent speed. So at the moment we are descending at 500 feet a minute. I would increase my throttle if I wanted to descend a little bit slower, decrease my throttle if I wanted to descend a little bit faster. So just keeping my eye on the runway. I'm probably a little bit high. I'm worried about that building up above, so I'm going to go one more stage of flaps. There we go. Get a little bit of a balloon when the flaps come down, and there we go. It should be okay. Just bleeding our speed off. We'll get over the threshold, and we will let this beast glide down. There we go.
Landing time logged. Landed at Kilo Fox Hotel Romeo, Friday Harbor.
Lovely. All right, that's the OnAir software talking to us. It's going to give us a little bit of break. We'll roll through to the end of the runway here. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to bring our flaps up now. So we'll bring 2 stages of flaps up. Let ourselves just glide off the end of the runway here and onto the taxiway. Lovely. Alright, beautiful little airport here. Beautiful little airport. I'm really glad that we are flying in and out of this airport. So, although I'm not sure exactly how much time we will actually spend at this airport, depending on what type of cargo runs that we will get. So, we're over here now. Let's put our landing lights off, put our taxi lights on. Our flaps are up fully, so we will just cruise down to parking. Just let the traffic in this area know that we are clear of the runway.
Kilo Foxtrot Hotel Romeo traffic Simi 666 is clear of the runway.
As you can see, I gave us a call sign of Simi 666. So there we go, guys. That was quite a good flight. Unfortunately, we weren't taking any cargo. It cost us money rather than making us money, because we had to pick our aircraft up. But in the next episode, we have a job that we will be doing, which is our first cargo job, which is only a 40 nautical mile hop, basically. So, which I'm looking very forward to. So, we'll keep this going. There we go. A bit peeved off that at the start of it, despite the fact that we Got a pappy light in the way. Despite the that's good work there. Yeah, despite the fact that we did actually start the aircraft with the beacons running, it didn't register that we started it with the beacons running, so a little bit upset about that. But have a look at this for default scenery. I mean, it is magnificent, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. I remember in FSX, to get anything like this as default scenery, you would have had to have paid for it, paid for external, for sort of third-party software and third-party scenery. But in here, nope, we are right in here. I just absolutely love what they've done with this simulator. Absolutely love it. And as they start working on bugs and stuff like that, I have a premium deluxe version of the simulator, but unfortunately, it's only registered me as having the standard version. So I am missing aircraft at the moment, but they have assured everybody who is suffering the same problem that will be sorted out soon. So hopefully it will be, guys, and I can bring you other aircraft as well, such as the Cirrus 22 would be an absolutely awesome one as well. So, all right, this looks like our little Marshall over here, which is where we are going to stop. Look at that, lovely. So we are back home. We are back home. Where does he want us to? Does he want us to come in on a different angle? It looks like he does. He does too. All right, that's interesting. So they must have double angle parking here. By the looks of it, one plane parks this way, like they have over there. So, all right, let's bring him in. He's quite happy with that one. There we go. Just around this way. And a little bit further. It's pretty poor work there, Simi. Beautiful. Alright. So, park brake on. Park brake is on. Let's remove that. We will turn our taxi lights off, turn our nav and our strobe lights off, and shut down the engine. So
Engine off, time logged. End of flight, registered in OnAir company.
there we go. So we have done our first one. We will turn that off so that we yes, we know that we have so there's our notification come up. We will go into there in a sec. We will just make sure that everything is okay. The prop has stopped. We can turn the beacon off now, and we can turn off the master battery and the master alternator. Let's just go into the outside view there, guys, and there she is, November 7089er Golf, our new aircraft and the start of our wonderful company. So I'm just going to drop back into here now, and as you can see, we've earned 121 experience points there for that flight. It was a valid flight from Castlegar to Friday Harbour. Engine on at 12:32, airborne at 12:36, touchdown at 14:41. So it was a 2-hour 10-minute flight, and engine off at 14:47. Let's have a look. It said that the engine was on at tracking start. I don't know what that means. Beacon and strobe were off at engine start. Well, you don't normally put the strobe on. You would put the beacon on before you start the engine, but we will keep that in mind. So we lost 0.03% for that. Comfort bonus, 5%. Which is all rules respected. Safety bonus not obtained. Aircraft handling bonus, an extra 5% bonus. The aircraft condition changes, which it monitors. The engine has lost 0.14%, and the airframe's lost 0.14%. So that's actually quite good. So we'll click OK on there. Let it connect to the live server. This has been quite a long episode. I don't know whether I'm going to break this into two or not, but I may sort of split it into 2 episodes. We'll see how we go when I get into editing. But there you go, guys. So we have completed our first flight. Our first flight didn't unfortunately make us any money. However, it did bring our aircraft back to Friday Harbour so that we can take our first job in the next episode. So there we go, minus 314 credit, which I think was the fuel that we put in. We've got 1 job pending. We have 1 aircraft now, and we're still at level 1. So I hope you enjoyed this one. What do you think? I mean, not all of the episodes are going to be this long. This was just a very, very long flight, and me showing you OnAir Airline Manager and all that type of stuff. But now that you've seen it all, we will be getting in here. We will be setting up a flight and leaving and doing our flight. And we certainly won't be doing, well, I might be doing 200 nautical mile flights. I don't know, but you will sort of, that'll all be cut out. So anyway, if you like this one, please hit like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator using OnAir Airline Manager. Thanks, guys.